And for those of y'all asking, the stream is up. We are live from Las Vegas to kick off the NAOR Series. I am Jonathan Canfield. Josh Coppernoll did not make the call tonight, so I threw this all together on the fly for you guys here tonight. I am joined in the booth by Adam Coon. Adam, how you doing?
Evening, Jonathan. I'm doing well. Excited to kick off this 13th season of NAOR here alongside you in the booth tonight. Should be an exciting show tonight here in Las Vegas. Excited to get things started tonight.
Absolutely, and as we're getting ready to get started, I'm going to pull up your starting grid here. And we apologize for anybody who is expecting some Juicy Spider content here tonight. We just could not get that running, and ATVO is being ever so difficult tonight, so we're just going to go down the order that Adam and I can see. But starting on the pole is going to be 69. I don't have the first name, but Mr. Blackwell. And to his outside is going to be Kenneth Chaney. Then Joseph Millsap starts inside row 2 with Jonathan Parker to his outside. And Josh Arnold rounds out our top 5 with Nick Hapiak to his outside. Klein is going to be starting in the 7th position with Mike Campbell to his outside. Pacey Wygen in the 9th position with JCTV's own Dawson Allen starting in the 10th position. Adam?
Yeah, starting 11th, I think it's going to be Ethan Moreno. Alongside him, the 12 Dukes, Chase McGuire, and Cole Snyder round out the next row with Morgan and Osborne in the 81. Harris and Green in the 25 will round out the next row with Hunter Pietzsch and Jose Ruiz rounding out the top 20 starters.
As we get ready to start here tonight, that's going to be all we can see of our starting grid. There is more drivers than that starting here tonight, and I'm going to try to refresh trading paints real quick. Just because it looks like we weren't updated there. We might have had the starting order backwards, though, at the same time. Again, this is all thrown together on the fly for you all here at JCTV tonight, so if we have some difficulties, forgive me. It's my first time producing an official race here on the channel, and forgive Adam because he can only see what I can see. But Adam, as they're coming around here, who's going to be your pick to win here tonight at Las Vegas? Who's going to start off the season hot?
A lot of new names in here tonight, Jonathan, so it's going to be hard to pick. But we got a lot of returning guys, so I'm going to go with Cole Snyder. Won a bunch last season, really fast at almost every type of track we go to, so I'm going to look out for that 24 tonight.
I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, I think, the 92, Jonathan Parker. You leave him out there, it's hard not to take him here, and definitely a driver that we've seen successful here on JCTV. As I'm trying to figure out my camera situation here, folks, but we are going to get ready to come to the green. For some reason, the sim racing apps is not working, so I'm just going to pull up to iRacing real quick and at least jump to our leader.
Green flag.
As we are green and kicking off another season here with NAOR. And it looks like ATVO is not working either. So, you know what, Adam? We're just going to fly this by the seat of our pants here tonight, and I am going to try and restart ATVO. For some reason, it is not cooperating. Right now, it looks like the 92 of Jonathan Parker is on the outside of Kenneth Chaney.
And Parker's going to get the advantage down the back straightaway on Chaney. Blackwell did not get the best of starts, racing alongside Chaney there on the opening lap through 1 and 2. And it's going to be a pretty competitive battle here as Chaney's going to slide into 2 and 3. They're trying to get that second spot, but it's just not going to stick down there in the bottom line. And Jonathan Parker trying to drive away now. Top 2 clear of that inside lane.
Yeah, and again, folks, I'm not too sure what's going on with ATVO, but it's giving me all kinds of a hassle here tonight. I threw this together in about 5 minutes, but I'm just going to try and restart it real quick and see if it eventually wants to work. I did have some sort of error. What is that error? Okay, so we're just going to close out of ATVO. Close all windows. And right now, I'm just going to run it how I used to run my streams. We're going to have the iRacing logo up. We're doing it my way here tonight. ATVO is being difficult. So Jonathan Parker leads them. Right now, being followed by the 63, and I'll get you a name on that car. That's Evan Kunup. Somebody could correct me on the pronunciation eventually. And to his outside is going to be Pacey Wygant. Good battle up front here. We're going to jump back and see what's going on towards the back of the pack. We'll jump back with Mr. Moreno. See if we can get an onboard with him. Go to his nose here and see what he's seeing from the nose. You see the traffic jammed up here. What a ride here around this beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Dump back here with JCTV's own Dawson Allen, see what he sees in front of him. Not a whole lot of room to work with for him.
Gonna send it there on the outside. Tried getting to the outside of one car, Byron Jones, couldn't quite do it. Now swinging to the inside, Byron down the front straightaway. See what that 79 car can do here.
I wish we had ATVO working. I'm going to try to launch it here in a couple minutes and see if it's worked itself out. But for now, I'll jump you back up front as we've had a lead change. Oscar Enriquez showing his way here early, getting around the 92. As I'm hard starting ATVO again for you guys here to see if it'll work. Sometimes ATVO has these issues where we can't quite get it to work. Also having issues with my sim racing app, so I am going to close my sim racing app and see. Okay. Load. Oscar Enriquez still continues to lead the way. Jonathan Parker right there with him. Field really close together, fanning out all over the place.
Yeah, battle for second. Yeah, on the inside of Jonathan Parker. They couldn't quite do it through the center of 1 and 2. I believe that's Andrew Chapman there, as we can see the leaderboard starting to pop up there, Jonathan.
Yes, I was able to finally get our leaderboard to pop up, and now I'm trying to figure out if I can get the correct sim racing app pulled up here. Sorry, that's going to appear on your screen here, folks, but I'm just trying to get everything set up still. Having major issues. Pull that out of your screen. We'll see here if I got the right thing set up. Right now, you do see the battle on the lead on your screen. We're going to keep it there for now and see if Sim Racing Apps finally wants to work. Because that is a major help for me. There we go. Now we've got Sim Racing Apps working. Look back. Looks like that 79 machine's moving up a little bit. Dawson Allen has cracked the top 10 here tonight. So far, 12 laps down of 135. No caution yet. Right behind Dawson Allen is somebody we see quite frequently in that 43 machine. Ethan Moreno coming out here to run a season of NAOR.
Yeah, nice new paint scheme on the 43. Of course, everyone sporting sponsors that they have partnerships with here in NAOR this season. And he made a move there 3 wide on Dawson Allen, who is having a hard time right now on the handle, that 79. I'd go to the top in 3 and 4, put 3 wide there by Ethan, and having to surrender about 5 or 6 positions there, Jonathan. This is a very racy battle just outside the top 10.
Indeed it is. And, you know, one thing we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, new car, new season for this NAOR series. This is the Gen 6 car at its finest. Not the Gen 7, not the current day Cup car, but the old Cup car that we were used to seeing just a couple years ago. And I believe it might be the high horsepower package as well. So this is a very fun car to see out here. Looks like we've had another lead change up front. Jonathan Parker did take back the lead.
And Oscar Enriquez has fallen to 4th there in that 56 JCTV car, and challenging right now with Pacey Wygen in the 00. Moving up a lane through 3 and 4. Pacey going up in the Exeter turn 4 to block it a little bit, but Oscar's there to his outside, and just behind him is Andrew Chapman in 5th.
Right behind him, I see that 20 car. We've seen that 20 car do good here in the NAOR series. Hunter Pietzsch just outside the top 5 right now. He's going to be a challenger here before the night's over. As I see right there in the background, looks like maybe the 25. Might have grabbed a little bit of wall there on the back straightaway, but no damage, no harm, no foul. Keeps it going. Just ahead of him, though, Chapman and Pietzsch are battling for this top 5 spot. Pietzsch hanging it in on the outside. Chapman goes all the way to the bottom.
Tight right there off turn 2. Chapman not giving much space there to Green. He's going to go right around him, and a couple of cars challenging this 18. That was Pietzsch who cleared him. Green trying to get around him. I thought he was going to be able to do it down the back straightaway. And Byron Jones, Kenneth Chaney side by side just behind this.
Yeah, Kenneth Chaney started on the front row of this race. So that 76 has had to battle a little bit here. But he's still inside the top 10. Just mired in traffic right now. Passing is difficult on this track. And I imagine, I've not driven this car on this track, but I imagine the draft is also huge here.
Oh, and dirty air is probably one of the biggest factors these guys are facing. A 33 car field, this is a big entry for the NAOR series kicking off season 13. So it's great to see, but not great to see if you're in this pack. This is much better, these guys racing in 6th, 7th, 8th than the guys that are dogfighting it in 25th position. Someone like Nick Hapiak right here in 18th position. He is not having the cleanest air on the front of that 6 car, so he is fighting it, I'm sure, and that's why these guys are spread out a little bit more than the guys up front.
I do have to say a huge apology to not only Nick Hapiak, but to Michael Morgan. They worked their tails off in the offseason to get us some great media that I have not uploaded into my Stream Elements yet, or my Streamlabs yet. So hopefully Josh will be back next week, and if he's not, after this race, I'm going to do some talking to maybe Dawson Allen and try to figure out how we can get that media put in for you guys at home to be able to see what they brought to the table for this season. But please anticipate that the Juicy Spider media team put on great media for us for this offseason. And we got some great stuff coming for this league and other leagues in particular. But as we're watching Nick Hapiak, he's back here with some familiar names. The 22, Josh Arnold. You mentioned guys not having a great run so far. Josh Arnold just in that conversation as well. As right ahead of him is also the 24, Cole Snyder, actually having some blinking issues. Back up front, it's still all Jonathan Parker, but it's not by much. This is not, you know, a typical Jonathan Parker domination type of race so far, but he's holding on to the lead for now by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, we mentioned briefly that this is the late Gen 6 Cup car, so we probably won't get to see huge leads tonight in the early stages of these runs, the first 30 from 40 laps. And even if we do see a pull out advantage, he might drag another car with him, John, and it might just create just a battle all night for the lead like we've seen so far as Zach Meredith peeks to the inside. Jonathan Parker in turn 1 can't do it there. Despite the inside line, Parker's going to be able to roll off turn 2 a lot better. And now a fight for fight for that second position with third place Hunter Pietzsch peeking to the inside.
I just spoke about him a couple minutes ago. He's back there fighting for 5th. Now Hunter Pietzsch has come to life. He's up here in the top 2. Possibly going to be challenging for the lead soon as Zachary Meredith crosses him back over here. Looking at the fastest car on track last lap. Give it to Andrew Green currently. Mired back here just outside the top 10. As you see just ahead of him, Ethan Moreno battling with the 1 of Byron Jones.
Yeah, Byron has been on an upward trajectory since the start of this race. I believe he started someplace around in the mid-teens, and he has climbed his way into the top 10, just trying to gain a spot there, but he's going to lose one right there down the back straightaway. And it's going to be fun to see him try and make his way back up through the field here. He was very fast last season, John, in season 12. He just couldn't get the job done when he did show up, because I don't think he raced majority of the second half of the season, and really disappointing not to see him race, because he was one of the standouts, I thought, in the first half of the season we covered last year.
Yeah, and another driver I think we could put in that same conversation who so far gets my pick for favorite paint scheme is this 4 car of Jamil Hawkins. Back to the Days of Thunder scheme here. Adam, I know you have to, you've probably seen that movie by now being a race fan, and that scheme is just perfect to be out here running on track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful inspired paint scheme. It looks really good, but just behind him, we saw Andrew Green catch the wall maybe again down the back straightaway entering turn 3. The car just twitched a little bit to the right about where the safety barrier pops out, and he brushed it again, but he still seems to be handling fine. But back to what you mentioned, Jamil Hawkins in that 4, absolutely. It's a beautiful paint scheme. He's doing a good job with it right now, getting a huge run on Andrew Chapman off turn 4 and trying to push Ethan Moreno through, and he's going to move up into the 8th position.
You see right there where Jamil Hawkins currently is and where he started, up 10 spots from his start position. Jamil Hawkins just slowly picking off the field here as he's mired right there in traffic. Looks like a big moment right there. Is that the 00 of Pacey Wygant?
Yeah, it was. He is slipped. He was in the 4th position, now down to 8th, and he has 7-8 cars bearing down on him in turn 3, and there's contact there in the center of the corner. But they all make it stick for the time being.
This is the racing you come for out of a Gen 6 car like this. We almost had 4 wide there, Adam. We had, like you mentioned, 8 cars under a blanket practically.
Yeah, they're all stacked up big time there with Pacey's moment in turn 2 last lap, and they're continuing to be so close right now. A lap later, single filed out just a little bit, but these guys are still right here within all a second of each other.
And I'm noticing, as I look at the track map, we've really got the top, I'd say, 15 cars, and then you jump back here to, I believe, this little pack with Nick Hapiak, Josh Arnold, see Cole Snyder, the 69. Not sure whose car number that is. The Noah Blackwell. These guys, they're in their own little pack, but they're not able to catch this pack in front of them.
And Dawson Allen has come down pit road, I believe, in that 79 car.
There
He's
you
completely
see.
lost the pack.
Yes.
2 seconds behind the field, Jonathan. He's got damage. I don't think he did pit, though, but he is fighting a very bad handling car. As you see him push tight into turn 4 and catch the wall, he is just having big-time problems right now, and he is hoping to pit. He's just waiting for a pit stop right now.
You see on the screen, showing when they last pit. See, Dawson Allen has not pit yet, but he's had some damage to that 79. Found the wall at some point. So, tough break for that 79. Don't know how long the runs are going to be here at this track, but right now he's in turns 3 and 4. And as we page back to Jonathan Parker is not far behind this 79. Tough break for Dawson Allen. Hopefully he can catch the break he needs at some point here, and maybe a caution comes out, or maybe he can get on pit road and get some of that damage fixed. Right now, Jonathan Parker still continues to lead, but by a narrow margin, with Hunter Pietzsch just right there in contention. You gotta wonder, is Pietzsch pushing to keep up with Parker, or is Parker managing his gap at this point, knowing that he can't stretch it out to a big lead?
Well, seeing Parker race in both slide job and winning his championship like he did in the Pietzsch Truck Series last year, he's very great at conserving tire. But right now we see Hunter Pietzsch pull a huge run down the front straightaway, cutting that front stretch using the apron pretty much, and able to take it wide in turn 1 and 2. Let's see if he's going to be able to carry that momentum down the back straightaway and close up more on Jonathan Parker in that 92. Doesn't look like he's going to be any closer than he was last time through here, though, John.
Yeah, and the 79, we just talked about him. Dawson Allen has brought it down pit road for his service. Not sure if he's going to get back out there very quickly, but battle for the lead still going on track. Hunter Pietzsch is all over this 92 right now, just trying to find any way to get around him. And you see right behind them, there's a battle for the 3rd and 4th positions between Zach Meredith and Kenneth Chaney. See a car back here pulling out of the line. I didn't get to see what car number it was, but we'll see if anybody else peels down pit road other than Dawson. Not sure what their fuel run's gonna look like here tonight, but we can I can guarantee this, folks, at least one pit stop.
I don't know, excuse me, John. I don't know what the fuel window is going to be, but they do have 90% fuel capacity, and they have 6 sets of tires on pit road waiting for them when they do choose to come down to pit road.
All right, now you see Kenneth Chaney and now Ethan Moreno battling for the 3rd and 4th spot. Zach Meredith able to pull off the move to get to 3rd. So actually that's the battle for 4th and 5th. I stand corrected. Moreno putting on a heck of a run here tonight.
Yeah, he's another one of our drivers who have just climbed through the top 10. I'm not quite sure where he started, but he is much through the top 10. We saw him racing for the 9th position just about 15 laps ago, if even that, and so he is just flying through the field right now. There you see it started in the 13th position, and in 3rd, the highest he's been all night, just clearing Zachary Meredith right there. Get by Kenneth Chaney as well a moment ago, and we see up front Hunter Pietzsch just ahead. Was so close in the center of 1 and 2, and they just lost it on the exit of turn 2, so Moreno is going to be eyeballing that 20 car to try to get another position, of course.
Hunter Pietzsch, another driver that's had to climb a little bit through this field. He started a little bit higher than Moreno, but he started 7th and is now 2nd, as we see Mike Campbell pulling off pit road. So far, Dawson Allen, it appears, is sitting in pit road. Wonder if that driver, that 79, has chose to park it here tonight. See if he's in Discord and if we can grab a word with him. Do not see the driver of the 79 in Discord tonight, so we will not be able to talk to our broadcast partner, Dawson Allen. Tough break for that 79, though. First race of the season, and he's already out.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw him fight in the hand of that car moments before he got on the wall, and then we saw the contact with the wall, and a couple laps later, and that just really derailed his night. And we see another car pushing up towards that safer barrier. It was Hunter Pietzsch in the center, 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. Almost got it exiting 4, but he was able to carve down the front straightaway and make a huge run on Jonathan Parker. And here comes Ethan Moreno trying to make a battle here for 3 cars going for the lead here.
Absolutely, and I mean, what kind of, this is just the type of racing I thought we were going to get from a Gen 6 car, and it is so far not disappointing at all. This is great pack racing so far. As you see, the battle up front continues. 3 cars practically under a blanket. Ethan Moreno running just a tad bit higher than the 2 in front of him. He's actually closing with that run. He's getting off the top side. As the leaders are getting ready to get into some lap traffic, I see just up ahead of them, the 19, that's Jake Millsap. Looks like he's pulling it into pit road. But just ahead of these leaders as well, the 37 and the 06. 37, I believe that's Jeff Lednam. And the 06 of Michael Morgan. Getting ready to be lap traffic here.
And while we see these guys fighting for the lead right here, Dawson has come over to the Discord, but Ethan Moreno going over to the second position now on Hunter Pietzsch. Diving into turn 3, he's going to clear that position. Is Pietzsch going to be able to perform a crossover? No, he's not. Moreno is clear and solidified in that position as we get through the lapped traffic.
All right, well, let's see if we can grab an interview with this driver of this 79 machine.
Hey, Dawson, you got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Well, unfortunately, your night's over before 30 laps into this. What happened out there for the 79 machine?
I think I burned the right front tire off. Run a little too hard there in the early goings to get top 10. Thought it was pretty cool to get that L8 machine in the top 10 for that split second there. Tire fell off, started dropping back, and I tried running the top side to give people room, and somebody did not drive with respect and drove it in hot to make it 3 wide and just drifted up into me. You know, if Brett Bennett made that move, he'd be banned from the league. But other than that, you know, it was all around a fun time when I wasn't, door to the wall. So this L8 machine will be back. I don't know when, but we're ready to do some more racing and try to go for some wins here.
Well, what was it like with this car, the big Gen 6, and the duty year? We saw you having big time holding on to that car after you got that damage there.
It sucks. I mean, these things, they punch a hole so big, and it's just such a hard thing to try to drive. The ability to make passes and stuff is very hard to come by. It can happen. We're seeing it for the lead now, but yeah, these things, they're pretty much a handful to try to drive and try to make passes and stuff. So overall, we'll see how the season goes, but not too happy with tonight.
All right, thanks, Dawson, for your time.
Thank you.
That was the driver of the 79. Short start here tonight for the first race of the season, but you hear his goals. He wants to get out there. He wants to run for points and wins, and we'll see him back next week with this NAOR series. Right now, we do have pit stops happening. Quite a few drivers have already made their pit stops, so we'll go ahead and show you laps since last hit, so you can see the drivers who've made pit stops recently.
Kenneth Chaney just got in the wall. Ethan Moreno tried taking that second position, was just barely not clear, and it shot the 76 right into the safer barrier in turn 2, Jonathan. Yeah, and that is going to be big damage, I think, on this.
Watch it here real quick. See what happens to this 76. As you mentioned, it looks like Ethan Moreno just takes the air off and maybe a little bit of contact there, and up goes the 76.
And we just heard from Dawson how bad his car handled after that damage, and we see Chaney pulling into pit road, and he might be, he is coming down for service and damage repair, so it is going to be probably a little bit longer stop for that 76, and he is going to be hanging onto that car for the dear life for the rest of this race, and more battling up front. Hunter Pietzsch is going to run down from the lapped cars on the fresher tires, splitting these 3 up completely. They were a lot closer a lap ago.
Yeah, that's going to be the 28 of Jim Blankenship making his series debut here tonight. So far, running in, what is the 29th position. on the fresher tires. As you mentioned, you see him making his way through the leaders very carefully and trying not to interfere with them. Right now, it looks like all of our top 10 still out here on their first set. As you see the 92 Jonathan Parker staying out for another lap. So some of these guys choosing to pit early, but it looks like the majority of our top 16 to 15 drivers is playing the long game here. 24, Cole Snyder is down, and the 48 of Giovanni Klein is also down for their stop. You see the 24, Cole Snyder, in for his service as the 92 continues to lead. Right now, Moreno going to the inside.
Yeah, he's tried this move a couple of laps now on Jonathan Parker when he was able to get close to that 92, and each time he's done it entering 1 and 2, and it has not worked. We've seen quite a few other cars try this move on Jonathan Parker, and he is just that much better in that middle line, carrying that speed through 1 and 2, and asserting himself in the lead and being able to challenge off any fights for the battle for the lead here.
As they run right now, Moreno, Parker, Pietzsch, Wright. Chris Wright up into the top 4. And then behind Chris Wright, it's going to be the 00 Pacey Wygant, followed by 14 Nathan Lehman. You see all these guys on fresher tires making their way around these drivers. Then another driver who's played the strategy and so far had it work for him, the 6 of Nick Hapiak in that 7th position. And we've got the 55 of Jeff No. And then the 3 car, Justin Quimby. And the 2 car is not in, well, shouldn't be in the top 10 anymore, but that is Donald Kite. Yes, as he's falling down the order, he's in for his service. Back up front, Moreno making the move again. This time, will we see it stick, or is Moreno going to pit here? What can happen? Moreno takes the lead.
Yeah, that was a lot better attempt by anyone, as Parker is going to take this attempt to come down pit road. Once he lost that lead, no point in staying out, so he's going to surrender his track position and come down on pit road along with Hunter Pietzsch there, and they're both going to come down for service. But Ethan Moreno was very solid through that last lap through 1 and 2. He was much more farther along the 92's door once he was able to get onto the back straightaway off of turn 2, and so that was very easy to clear that position there. And we'll see how long 43 is going to stay out. Looks like he is low entering turn 3, but he washes way up the track in turn 4, and he's going to come down anyway.
See if he gets it down to speed here. Looks like he does. No troubles. Wait to see who assumes the lead. Looks like it's going to be the 60 of Chris Wright staying out there for another lap, followed by Nathan Lehman. Jeff No and Justin Quimby still have yet to make their stops. All right, Justin Quimby looks like he's made his. So Jeff No, Nathan Lehman, and Chris Wright still need to make their stops.
Yeah, you mentioned Chris Wright a few moments ago, reigning series champion, trying out here to defend his title, and right now leading his first laps of the season. He's had a quiet night so far, Jonathan, and he didn't start that great, and he just kind of rode around there early on. Was in the middle of really the hornet's nest, but he was able to survive and not get, what I can tell, any major damage or any at all. So he's going to be able to keep fighting here and be in contention for this race in the second half.
Absolutely, Adam, and just so far, I'm shocked that Chris Wright wants to stay out here. He's the last driver to pit yet, and looks like the first driver on tires that's going to get to him is the 17, Meredith. Looks like he's going to bring it down this time and surrender the lead. So that's going to hand the lead over to... That should hand the lead over to Zachary Meredith.
That was a very precarious pit entry. Not any fault of Chris Wright. They were just 3 wide right behind him as he went onto the flat off of the banking in turn 4, but they all managed it pretty well. I wasn't sure who was the bottom car of that 3 wide situation, but they got very loose and squirrely, got getting into the front straightaway, but they were able to keep it going straight, of course.
And Zach Meredith does indeed take over the lead. Second is Jamil Hawkins. See him back here in that Cole Trickle Days of Thunder scheme. He can see Meredith, but he's got a boatload of cars between him and Meredith right now.
And the way this race is played out with all the pit stops being, the pit window being so wide, this is what we're going to see probably for the rest of this race. Different cars on different laps, on different strategies, just intermingle out there, just racing as hard as they can, not knowing who's for what position really, just going out there and just trying to be the fastest car, of course, and everyone's got different tires, so you just have to hope for the best when you get to a faster car, when that faster car catches you, excuse me.
I'm gonna hop on board here with this 17 and see what he sees. As you see what the driver of the 17 was going through right there, you hear the throttle input. These guys are not out of the gas very much. There's not a lot of time to be saving any fuel around this track if they would even need to. As they run right now, the field fairly spread out. Right now, I believe currently have 26 drivers, looks like, on the lead lap so far. Or no, 25, I stand corrected. There's 25 on the lead lap so far. Excuse me. The first car 1 lap down right now being Cole Snyder in that 26th position. The 27th position looks like Jeff No is in the 26th position. So we do have 26. I can count, I promise. But we have 26 cars on the lead lap. Zach Meredith leading them, followed by Jamil Hawkins. And here's that 92 of Jonathan Parker making a move on Jamil Hawkins for second. He clears Hawkins, and now Parker going to set his sights. 1.2 seconds is the gap from him to Meredith, but that gap is closing at an alarming rate for Meredith.
Yeah, he made quick work of Hawkins, did the 92 of Jonathan Parker, and you can see the gap just shrinking on the ticker to Zachary Meredith, now down to 0.6 of a second, and now even lower than that as a lap car in between them here. See if how quickly that 92 can get around him here.
I don't think it's going to take much time at all, but not far behind. Look who's still here, and look who pitted later. That 43 of Moreno. He's closing on all 3 of these drivers. As Parker, you see up ahead, trying to find anywhere to go to get around the lap car and the leader. Cole Snyder gets around the leader, but Jonathan Parker to the outside of Meredith. Not a lot of room there. He's going to go to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide at the line with the lap car in the middle.
Yeah, and you mentioned don't count out Ethan Moreno. He's going to dive to the inside of the flapper, the 34. He's going to
Oh.
slide up the racetrack yet again. But up front, it's Jonathan Parker using that middle line I talked about earlier to clear Zachary Meredith easily. And here comes Moreno 3 wide for that second position.
And keep in mind, folks, Cole Snyder's just trying to keep his lap on track as, oh, Moreno's going
Ooh,
to
this
door him.
contact.
And that's going to lose momentum to Moreno. Cole Snyder, I imagine Moreno's got to be frustrated. Cole Snyder playing pick right here for Ethan Moreno. Again, Cole Snyder racing these guys very hard. I question it. I understand he wants to make sure that he gets either a lap back or stays on the lead lap, but really fighting hard with these leaders here. And now Moreno falling back from the lead a little bit. But as you see on the ticker, it's closing with him having that little bit of draft help.
Oh, and now the 24, Cole Snyder blinked there on the front straightaway a little bit to even more complicate the situation. Him just right there in the middle of this 3-car battle for the lead with top 3 within a second almost of each other. And you mentioned him not really doing anything. He's just trying to race for his lead, but he's been pretty aggressive doing his lead lap back, excuse me. He's being a pretty aggressive doing it, but he is a serious regular here, and he's going to be racing for every point he can, especially in race number 1, Jonathan. And we saw some smoke on the back straightaway there. We stay under green, and then another car was rolling to the pits. I wonder if those two are related, but these top 3 remain about a second and 1.3 seconds separated from each other, and you see the front clip is gone on the 06 of Morgan.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break while we got a lull in the action and rewind this back and see what happened to this 06. I'm guessing this was the cause for our smoke. Indeed it was. No caution, though.
Yeah, spun to the inside of the track there, as we saw.
Yeah, it looks like he's right here with Pacey Wygen and the 7 of Chase McGuire. Gets the wall just a little bit. Wow. Honestly, credit to that driver because he could have gathered up a lot more cars there.
Yeah, it looks bad seeing him overcorrect it and drive himself into the wall, but that was the right situation there because if he didn't, he would have wiped out 4 or 5 more cars with those guys either right next to him or right hard on him. So that was a good heads-up move by Morgan to minimize the damage on everyone around him and just be aware of the surroundings.
As we try to jump back live up here for you. There we go. Jonathan Parker still leading the way, but Ethan Moreno not backing down. 4/10 is the gap. As you see Meredith just falling off in the background, 2 seconds back to Meredith now. And there is that 06, very heavily damaged, but back out there just trying to complete every lap he can. Take us for another ride here. We're going to go on board with this 43 of Moreno as he's chasing down this 92. As you've seen right there, Moreno had to get out of the gas trying to make the move for the lead. Man, these two are going to be glued to each other until the end, and I can already tell, Adam.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be another classic battle between these two. There was a bit of a situation, though, lapping, Enrique Quinones, though, a moment ago, last time by, and Poker had a roll out of the throttle, it looked like, through 1 and 2, and it allowed Ethan Moreno to close right up and make that side-by-side battle for the lead. Couldn't quite do anything with it once he was door-to-door with Parker, like we saw. But it is going to be pretty fun to see these two continue to go at it for the lead as we go through the top 10 here.
Looking back here, we do have a battle just around the top 5 to 8th position. The 5th to 8th spot, you've got Jamil Hawkins, Andrew Chapman, Byron Jones, and Oscar Enriquez. All battling, trying to get as many positions as they can here. See Pacey Wygant back here. Just ahead of him should be the 20 of Hunter Pietzsch. Hunter Pietzsch pit a lot earlier than the two he was racing with earlier with Parker and Moreno, and you're seeing that effect here. Or actually, no, I stand corrected. Hunter Pietzsch came down with Jonathan Parker, so surprised to not see Hunter Pietzsch back up there with Parker.
Yeah, to see that gap, it looks like maybe Pietzsch got some kind of a speeding penalty, and he's trying to recover from it because he is, like you mentioned, really far back, 8 seconds behind our battle for the lead as it stands right now, 80 laps into this race.
Jump back here to see this driver. I just noticed last time by, the lap before this, he put down the fastest lap of the race, and now the driver just ahead of him, and Chris Wright, he had the fastest lap last lap. And these are drivers just around the top 15 that are battling for position. Remember, Chris Wright pit way later than the rest of the field, so he's overcoming a lot here as this race carries on.
Yeah, with that extended pit window, I wonder if 60 Machine's going to try and pit on just one less stop compared to everyone else. I wonder if he can just do it on one more, while everyone else might have to come in for one more stop and then a splash in the very last 10 laps or so. He might be setting himself up either for that or just hoping his tires are going to be that much better in the last 15 laps to negate the difference he loses staying out so long.
We shall see how this plays out for Chris Wright, and this is what we expect from this series. We see many differing strategies from many different drivers. Take you back here to see another driver who's not having the greatest of season openers. Currently in the 23rd position, started 24th. Josh Arnold. Car looks clean right now, just not having the run you'd want on your first weekend out for the league. Just ahead of him, that's going to be the 2 car of Donald Kite. Donald Kite started 32nd in this race, only up 10 positions. But as Josh would note if he was here, Donald Kite had his debut iRacing season last season with this league, and slowly but surely learned that car and improved every race. So I expect to see Donald Kite doing the same this season with this car, assuming he doesn't have very many laps in this car. Take you back up front, and you see these two still stuck together like glue. As they negotiate the lap car of Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell going to keep it high and out of the way if he can. Moreno's going to peek to his inside here and should clear him by the time they get down to the entry of the corner. Indeed he does. Still a battle back here for the 6th spot between Andrew Chapman. Hunter Pietzsch now in this battle. Oscar Enriquez just behind it. And just ahead of it is that 4 car, Jamil Hawkins, in that 5th spot. Jamil Hawkins goes high as the 2 behind him are side by side. We'll see if Pietzsch can make it stick. A little tight there on exit. Looks like Pietzsch just blinked out, and he's back. Still looking to the inside of this 18 is Pietzsch.
Got a good one there off turn 4. Going to continue to cut that front straightaway and use the apron. Almost slides up into Chapman. They're coming back into traffic there and going to dive into turn 1. Not going to be able to do anything as Jamil Hawkins driving away from this battle just little by little here, watching this in his mirror.
And introducing Oscar Enriquez into this battle. 56 just watching, letting them go at it, and he's actually going to close on them if they continue to go side by side.
And Oscar had a huge aero-type moment there coming off turn 4 because of the way these two are racing. And you see Pietzsch diving into turn 1, going to be able to finally clear Chapman. Chapman going to have a little bit better run off turn 2 if he is able to take it here. Going to try and cross him over, but he doesn't take that opportunity, Jonathan. He's going to sit right there and ride in turn 3.
Back up front, the gap is closed. Ethan Moreno is there. Parker giving all the dirty air he can to Ethan Moreno to try and hold him back. And really, Adam, outside of these two, the next car is 5 seconds back. And that's going to be Evan Coon. As Moreno going to peek to the inside here, we'll see if he makes the move stick. Parker going to cross back over. We'll see if Moreno can get some momentum on the high side. Parker's got the advantage on the straightaway. Moreno going to try and stick it in on the outside and force Parker to lift. Tight battle. Parker has to lift. Moreno gets the lead. So at lap 90 of 135, Ethan Moreno has solidly put himself into the lead here.
Yeah, that was a very good pass. He was able to assert himself on that higher line and the middle line through the corner in 3 and 4 by executing his first attempt at the pass in turn 1 and not caring that Parker was crossing him back over and challenging that position easily back in 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. He had the preferred line, he knew it, and he just forced, like you mentioned, forced Parker to lift through the exit of 4 and was able to make it easy on the front straightaway for himself. And now he's trying to drive away, but that's not going to be too easy. It's only stabilized about 2.5 tenths between the two. But like you mentioned, they have now gapped another second on the third place car, which has changed hands to Zachary Meredith after Canup has come down pit road, I believe.
Canup looks like he might be coming down for his last stop. It looks like the 7 of Chase McGuire also down pit road. 7 is on pit road. Back to the 17 here. And Pietzsch has cleared and gotten to the 4th position. Now just trailing Zachary Meredith. We'll see if these leaders, when they decide to come down for their last stop. Right now, Moreno just trying to run away. Opens up the gap ever so slightly more. Now up to 3/10. Adam, I think Moreno's faster than Parker. I think he's got it if he hits the strategy right.
And not only that, executing the pit entry and pit exit, because Jonathan Parker is a pro at that. We've seen that time and time again in the Truck Series. He was just able to maximize everything when it comes to pit entry and pit exit, and not having major mistakes in terms of that. And in regards of coming into the pit box and all that, we see Moreno looked like a huge slide there off that 4th corner. He's really wheeling that thing right now in the dirty air of all the lap cars just ahead of him, trying to maximize this gap back to Jonathan Parker. And he pulled away just a little bit there down the front straightaway, John.
Yeah, he's using the middle lane right now, which is what Parker was doing earlier. Parker, trying to get clean air to his nose, is actually running the bottom. But, you know, speaking of these two drivers, I know Parker pretty personally. I've done some private hosted sessions with him to prepare for situations like I had tonight with jumping into the producing of the broadcast, and I know that Parker works with Moreno a lot, and you and I can both attest to this, Adam. Ethan Moreno has been due for a win for a long, long time coming, and to see him right now outrunning the guy who's really mentored him, that's what's impressing me about this run by Moreno.
Yeah, we have seen these two battle time and time again here on JCTV, whether it be the In Pits News Truck Series where we saw Jonathan Parker take that championship last season, or in the Tuesday night's MFRD Slide Job Racing League Premier Series, because they have gone at it in both those leagues, and now here on Friday nights in the NAOR Series. It's been fun to see, and it's really amazing to see, like you mentioned, Ethan being able to put this battle right to Jonathan Parker himself, really a mentor to him in iRacing, and drive away from him little by little. Let's see how these last 38 laps are going to go for this 43 car.
And you see the 69, that's going to be Nathan Blackwell. I believe he's already made his last stop of the race, so he is on fresh tires. And just ahead of Ethan Moreno right now, I can't quite see the car number on that car. I can only tell you it's a green and white car. It's got a 5 on the door. Maybe that's the 55 of Jeff No. I don't think Jeff No has yet to pit. So Ethan Moreno, just trying to methodically work his way through lap traffic, has now opened up a 1.5 second gap to Jonathan Parker. And we talk a lot about the dirty air, Adam, but we didn't talk enough about the clean air. How much momentum that gives Ethan Moreno with having this clean air, even if he is in lap traffic. Once he got by Jonathan Parker, we just watched him stretch the lead out more and more. And that clean air showed crucial for Ethan Moreno to get this lead.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned top of the show we didn't think we would see guys be able to pull off big leads tonight, especially this deep into the race. I thought we would have a couple cautions really to help that, but we have run green all 100 laps so far turned. To complete lap 100 right here through 3 and 4 is Ethan Moreno, but the pit strategies have really opened the game here for anyone to make their name known here in this race, and it's going to be Ethan Moreno right now.
We've got a caution on track.
And it changes right now with that yellow flying on lap 101. Believe that's a jinx there, Jonathan.
It might be, but I do not see a car stopped on track, so I'm not sure what the caution was. Your guess is as good as mine, Adam. There's not a car slow on this track that I could say, yeah, that's a caution. So I wish we had a replay for you folks, but I can't even tell you who the car was. Let's see if I can find it with sim racing apps. Pulls us to somebody. Was it Meredith? No, Meredith's just coming down pit road. So I'm not sure, Adam. That's bizarre. Well, that's what the sim racing app showed me as the previous crash, but that was indeed not a crash.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Very peculiar here as we see pit stops here underway under caution.
Yeah, and Ethan Moreno, Jonathan Parker bringing it down. Hunter Pietzsch, Casey Wygant. 23, Jose Ruiz, somebody we haven't really talked about, but he's in the top 5. Let's see, Chris Wright is down. Race off pit road is going to be won by Moreno, followed by Parker, Pietzsch, Wygant, Ruiz, Wright, Osborne, and then Lehman. We see more cars coming off here. That's going to be... I lost count there. Anyways, we'll jump back up here with our current leader, who's now going to be stacked back up. You see how many cars stay out here to get their laps back. So while we're under pacing Adam, I want to see if we can get a hold of anybody in the Discord. Maybe one of our top 2 drivers is in here.
No, I'm just gonna guess and say they're not. They're usually not in the races.
Well, why don't we talk to our 3rd place driver then, Hunter Pietzsch.
There ain't gonna be no more lifting, Jake. This is all gonna be tape.
Hey, Hunter, you got a copy? It's the boys in the booth.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Well, we see you sitting here in the 3rd spot, and really it's been a spread out race until this caution come out. We're not sure what caused the caution. We don't know if you know, but how's the racing been out there?
Racing's been, I would say, very phenomenal. I mean, I want to say 36 drivers in here, 102 laps. I'd say that's really good. Everybody's respecting each other pretty well. I think the caution, if I'm right, I don't know if it was a 9 or not. It was in 3. Someone got hit and then hit the wall. Kind of came down, and someone else tagged. But yeah, overall, it's been a really great race.
And what's your plan going to be now? Now you got the top 2, the 2 really have been the class of the field today right in front of you, but you can be in that argument too. You seem like you had a little issue early on in the race that made you drop back.
Well, we have a good 213 Simware Toyota Camry along with a great fast lane JCTV Toyota, and it looks like it's just gonna take just getting out front. I mean, Ethan's really going the long runs. I feel like I have a good short and medium, and I made a little mistake on the pit road, and I overslid it. That was my fault. Found myself back in traffic, but, you know, got a little break with the yellow. We're going to try to get this thing a shot, and hopefully I'll see you on victory lane.
All right, Hunter. Well, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
No problem.
Good to hear from our 3rd place driver, Hunter Pietzsch, and while he was talking, we saw the first ever NAOR choose cone, Jonathan, and with that choose cone, he goes from 3rd to 2nd on this restart, taking the outside of the front row here.
Yeah, interesting to not see Jonathan Parker hop up to that outside lane. I figure the outside lane might actually get some advantage, but we'll see on this restart what happens here. We kind of heard a little bit of his team chatter as we were pulling him up to the booth, and he's talking about not lifting from here to the end, so we'll see what kind of excitement awaits as we have 30 to go here, Adam.
It's going to be a dash to the finish.
Well, that pace car pulls off. All the drivers are pulling their belts tight one more time, and we are getting ready to go. Green is out. 30 laps to go here from Vegas with the NAOR opening of this season.
With Ethan Moreno and Jonathan Parker able to get phenomenal restarts there, pull easily on Hunter Pietzsch, and Jose Ruiz is also going to take that 3rd position away from the 20, but Jonathan Parker poking out of the line, going for the lead on Moreno, side by side into turn 3.
Parker's going to try to hang it out here and let it slide. We'll see if Moreno gives him room. Very close off of 2 or off of 4 that time. Moreno looks like he might have let it just barely at the line that time. No, they gave it to Parker.
Jose Ruiz slipped right there in the center of 1 and 2. Chris Wright was all over the back bumper of him. They were stacking up Wright, going to abandon ship to go to the top line. That allowed Pietzsch and Wygant to take the 3rd and 4th positions away,
And
as they are still side by side for the lead.
Here comes Hunter Pietzsch and Pacey Wygent late in the running here. We'll see if they have anything to say about this as these two continue to be side by side. That's only going to allow more people to stick their nose in this. Somebody's got to give and take eventually, but right now there is no give and take because we are within 30 to go.
Chris Wright, huge run on the back straightaway though, got to the right side door of Pacey Wygent, going to be able to take that position down the back. Wygent going to fight it back into in 3. This is the battle for 6 just behind John Osborne, has made his way into the top 10, racing against Nick Hapiak, who struggled in the early parts of this race. They both got by Jose Ruiz.
And look who else is up here. Donald Kite. He was back in 22nd before that last round of pit stops happened just now. And now Donald Kite is up here inside the top 10 looking for a good finish.
Up front, Chris Wright has gotten up to that battle for the lead, and Jonathan Parker is slipping on that bottom lane through 3 and 4, and Wright going to be able to take that second position. Here comes Wygent.
Wygent going to take no chances and jump straight to the outside of the 92, knowing that the 92 is struggling to be underneath of another car. He's going to take advantage of that and try to push the issue here with Jonathan Parker. Now Chris Wright going to be looking for the lead on Ethan Moreno. New names and new players in this game as we come across the line. 25 to go. See Chris Wright in the lead right now. Moreno falling back. Parker trying to battle back on the inside of Wygent. You see just behind them Nick Hapiak, Donnie Kite, Hunter Pietzsch, Jose Ruiz, John Osborne, and the 69 of Blackwell all in the mix here. But I stand corrected. Blackwell actually a lap down car, so he's not for position. Same with Cole Snyder, who you see right behind Blackwell. Back up front, it's still Chris Wright, followed by Moreno. Pacey Wygent, Jonathan Parker still trying to sort out who's going to have that position. And right behind them, Hunter Pietzsch and Nick Hapiak making his way up here now. Hunter Pietzsch going to peek out.
Yeah, Parker had a really big moment in 1 and 2. Slow on the back straightaway, so he tucked in line right behind Pacey Wygent, but they're all going to come almost together and almost collide off of turn 4. Almost 3 wide there for a moment. Pietzsch had to back out of it. Parker trying to get around Pacey Wygent for the time being, and here comes Hapiak to the outside of that 20 car.
Hapiak's been running this line for a couple laps now. He's been making it work, as now it looks like he's going to get around the 20. We'll see if he has any move to make for Pacey Wygent now. He looks to the inside of Wygent as the top 3 are single file, top 4, top 5, top 6 are now single file, as Hapiak looks like he threw a little block on Pietzsch right there, and that's going to give Donald Kite an opportunity to move inside of Pietzsch.
Yeah, Donnie Kite and John Osborne really the only ones utilizing that bottom line by choice through the center of these corners, trying to make positions work. They really don't have a place to go other than tucking in line and just holding their position, and they're not comfortable with that. Just coming to 20 laps to go, they want to move forward like they have for the most part in the second half of this race. And they are right now trying to move by Hunter Pietzsch. Hapiak has Kite trying right now, but they're going to go past that lap car Morgan, and they easily, smoothly in 1 and 2, but Pietzsch is looking there on the inside just a little bit more.
And you see up front, it looks like Moreno got back around Chris Wright for the lead. And now it looks like Parker's going to look below Wright. So we now have 19 to go. Pacey Wygent inserting his name into this top 3 battle. Nick Hapiak just behind. He's under pressure from Hunter Pietzsch for that fifth spot. right now. Up front, I think I seen some contact. I think it was between Chris Wright and Pacey Wygant. Maybe a little bit of tire smoke. Maybe someone got loose. See back here, Byron Jones not having the run he wants. This is a battle just for the last spot on the lead lap between him and Andrew Chapman and Andrew Green for the just inside the top 20.
Yeah, we saw both Byron Jones and Andrew Chapman inside the top 5 and top 10 early in this race, and they were both falling off. But back up front, it's Moreno, Parker using that top line in 3 and 4, and Chris Wright, Pacey Wygant trying to use that bottom through that corner, and there's Parker using that shortcut down the front straightaway for the first time tonight. And battle for sixth still rages on between these two.
Yeah, Donald Kite, as you mentioned, Adam, not willing to give up that bottom, and he is still trying to make it work, and he's got 3 cars with him to basically his advantage. Looks like Jose Ruiz is trying to help give him some kind of an advantage here, as well as John Osborne. John Osborne running a little bit higher than the cars in front of him, but still relatively in the bottom. Moreno continues to lead here, but only by a tenth of a second. And it looks like Parker's closing again to try and mount another charge here. We'll see if he's able to. See if he learned anything from when Moreno passed him, if he can put it to good use here. He does take a peek. Moreno's going to give him the option. We'll see if he sends it in deep. We know these Gen 6s can do slide jobs. We'll see if Moreno lets him. Moreno runs the top, Parker at the bottom. Chris Wright going to close back up to the bumper of Jonathan Parker now. Oh, is Moreno having a little bit of blinking there? Hopefully that clears up as we come across the line this time. 13 to go from Vegas. It's anybody's race if you're in the top 6. Heck, even the top 10, I could say at this point. The way the top 5 are nose to tail, it's anybody's race. See Moreno still having blinking issues.
Yeah, you mentioned these top 5. They are only half a second ahead of that battle for that P6 fight that is now between Happy Egg and Ruiz, as Donnie Kite has fallen to the 9th position in this battle for the lead side by side. Parker on the inside. We know that's not where he wants to be, but he made that slide job work earlier. Diving again in turn 1, but Moreno is going to have the power back through the exit of 2.
I noticed Moreno expects it, and he takes that middle lane instead of the high lane, and that prevents Parker from being able to send it in and slide up. So Moreno doing exactly what you need to do as the lead car and holding off these attempts at a slide job. Top 5 still remain the same. It looks like Hunter Pietzsch is going to take a peek under Chris Wright for that 3rd position. See if Pietzsch has anything. Oh, and they're crashing in the background. Cole Snyder. Looks like Nathan Blackwell.
No caution yet. Now it flies. It is Cole Snyder spun in 2 and 3.
I believe I saw the 69. Nathan Blackwell also involved in that. We'll go back and see if we can see what happened here. Looks like the 69, just hooks Cole Snyder, and the 55 of Jeff No also involved there. Who is that just snuck through there, though? Seas kind of parted for one of these drivers.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm not sure what number that is on that car, but man, heck of a job for them. I think that's the 48, maybe? 48. Yeah, that was the 48.
Wow,
He
what a
just
great
snuck
job by
right through there.
Klein.
Show you one more time the replay there and the carnage, bringing out this caution within 10 to go.
Yeah, Giovanni Klein doing a good job there. Just like you mentioned, the seas parting and doing a good job just holding straight wheel there and not making it an issue for themselves.
You see all of the field going to come down and pit here. Take you to the race-off pit road camera and see who comes off first. Moreno again going to be the first car off, followed by Parker, Pietzsch, Wright, Happyak, Rees, Kite, and I caught as many as I could, folks. So again, Moreno gonna win your race off pit road there. As it looks like there were no takers on staying out, only the lap cars that are trying to get laps back.
Yeah, and we mentioned quite a few times since we had to basically jump headfirst into this broadcast without really any prep, John. We haven't really gone over really the changes this season. Caution laps are being scored this year. There is the wave around in effect, and the lucky dog procedure is going to be handled pretty much the same, I believe, but it's going to be a little bit more normal under these caution flags this season, Jonathan, for stock car racing, and it's going to be a little bit more changing the game here as these laps are now clicking off and ticking. We're getting closer and closer to the checkered flag, and we're going to be set in store for a sprint to the finish now. We thought 30-lap dash was going to be frantic there, but it's going to be, and who knows with how this restart goes, we could be in store for a lot more tonight, Jonathan.
Oh, Adam, you took the words right out of my mouth. If you're at home, strap the TV down. It's getting ready to get crazy here. We're going to go green with probably anywhere within 7 to 5 laps to go, and if you think they're done wrecking, I'm going to tell you they're not. It's going to be somebody going for it, and it's not bad TV, it's not bad racing, and I love the fact that we're getting ready to go for a really short dash here for the finish. No better way to open the season than a short dash.
Yeah, we're under caution here. Want to mention that brought up under that last interview we had with Hunter Pietzsch, but there was a new episode of Fastlane out today, recap of last season, and one of the things I took away when I was putting that together was the finish of last season opener at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway, and that was quite a dramatic finish. I don't think there was a caution setting up the stage at the end, but there were quite a lot of throws at the end, and it won't be quite the same tonight as we see the choose cone here, with this being not quite a pure plate race like Atlanta kind of tends to be, but it's going to be pretty close with these Gen 6 Cup cars at Las Vegas, wide open mile and a half. And when Hunter talked to us a little bit earlier, he said wide open rest of the way, and that was with 30 to go. None of these guys are going to lift the rest of the way unless they get forced to, Jonathan.
Exactly, and that's what you can expect here with these guys being too wide on the restart, as the lights are out on the pace car, and we are going to get them stacked up and ready to go to the green. So, on your inside row, front row is going to be Ethan Moreno. To his outside, Jonathan Parker. Second row, inside, Hunter Pietzsch. Outside, Chris Wright. Then you've got Nick Happyak, Jose Ruiz, Pacey Wygent, Donald Kite, Nathan Lehman, I think that is, and then John Osborne. And man, are we setting up for a good finish here, Adam.
You're excited what this front row is going to do this time? Jonathan Parker chose the front row. He didn't give it up this time.
Pace car pulls off. We are getting ready to go green here.
Green flag, green flag.
Moreno takes off, and the rest of the field is going behind him. 7 laps to go. 6 laps, actually, from Vegas. And no shock here at the top 2, single filing out, but side by side still with Pietzsch and Wright. And Parker's going to look to the inside of Moreno there on the exit of 2. He has the run. I think we're going to be 3 wide into 3. 3 wide for the lead. Hunter Pietzsch is going for it.
Moreno got tight in 1 and 2, and that's what allowed this to happen.
Pietzsch
had
to the
door
lead.
Open.
They're wrecking behind Nick Hapiak, Wygent, Jose Ruiz, Andrew Chapman, Chase McGuire.
Andrew Green piles in, and a lot more cars still wrecking into. Wow, huge wreck. Chris Wright got on his side there.
You see what happened there? Hapiak washed up into Wygent a little bit, and Lehman goes over.
Yeah,
Jones is in it. Chapman, McGuire. We see the 25. That's Andrew Green sliding in there. The 69 involved in another one. A lot of drivers in that wreck there.
Yeah, Jonathan, you were right. You called it. We were not done wrecking. Somehow, Pacey Wygent drove away from that. He looks relatively unclean, and he was the first one to spin, really.
As we jump back live here, Pacey Wygent does actually look clean. Not sure the damage on that 00. Looks like mostly just to his right rear.
Yeah, right rear is definitely chewed up, but other than that, somehow it looks fine.
And back up front, as we mentioned, it looks like I'm having a couple issues with the loading. Go back to TV2 for that. Sorry about that, folks. Not sure what's going on there, but back up front, Hunter Pietzsch, that 3 wide move paid off for him at the right time, because now he's the first one to choose which lane he gets, and he assumes the lead.
Yeah, I was mentioning, he all started with Ethan Moreno getting tight in the center 1 and 2. He pushed up to clear Jonathan Parker so they could take over the 1-2 positions, but that just pushed too far up the track, and Parker was either going to drive through him or wreck him, or go to the inside and make the pass, and that's what he tried to do. But then Hunter Pietzsch, of course, being a race car driver, was selfish himself, made it 3 wide, and was able to make it stick on the bottom in turn 3, and did a phenomenal job there, trying to drive away from those guys in the about 10 seconds he had as the wreck erupted behind them. But he has to do it all over again, starting on the front row this time, though, Jonathan, and having to hold them off.
And I believe with a caution inside 5 to go there, we are going to enter our green-white checkered attempts here tonight. Adam, do you want to reflect on the rules for the green-white checkered attempts for this league?
If I could find them, I would love to, Jonathan.
Understandable. I don't have them pulled up either. You can imagine what's on my second screen right now, but I believe, if I remember correctly, they stick to the 3 attempts, and then that's it.
Yeah, I'm going over the basic sheet, the guide we were given yesterday pre-race, and I don't see anything about overtime. Nothing really different about that I see outlined here.
Okay. So I believe it's 3 attempts, if I remember correctly, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure Josh Arnold will remind me and give me the note for next week. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It could be 1 attempt, it could be infinite attempts. So, you know what, folks, we'll just say Adam and I are along for the ride with you. We know at least they should get 1 attempt. Because we know Josh Arnold and none of these drivers want to see it end under caution. I believe they should be coming to the choose this time. Yes, indeed they are. You see Hunter Pietzsch go to the bottom. Jonathan Parker also going to the bottom. First car outside is going to be Chris Wright. He's jumping up 2 spots here. Ethan Moreno also electing to take the bottom. Zach Meredith putting himself back in this second row outside. And that 48 of Klein that we just seen have a stellar miss, he's going to be the 3rd car on the outside.
So, this is going to be a 1-lap shootout here, Jonathan. There are no green, white checkers, actually, we are being informed. Races do not get extended in NAOR. Checkered flag falls when the checkered flag is meant to be fallen, and we're only going to get 1 shot here, 1 lap to do it, so this is it. We're going to get 1 lap, we're going to get the green flag and go, and whatever happens off turn 4 is what happens.
Well, we'll see how they stack them up, and I got to bring up the point. Josh Arnold, back from 23rd, is in the top 10 right now. See what any of these drivers are willing to do to get a win or get a good finish here in this season opener for NAOR. We go 1 lap shootout, pace car down pit road, field in the hands of Hunter Pietzsch. He takes off, we are green. 1 more lap to go here at Vegas. Who gets back here first? Pietzsch is going to lead them out of 1 and 2. We'll see if Jonathan Parker has anything for Pietzsch. He does have a run. Looks like it's coming to the outside. Pietzsch trying to block. He's not able to. Parker getting a shot from Chris Wright. Chris Wright going to dip to the inside. Pietzsch just ever so slightly ahead. Who gets to the line first? It's a drag race. Jonathan Parker's going to finish in first. I think Chris Wright's going to get credited with second as Hunter Pietzsch finishes 3rd sideways.
Sideways in the grass. He never quit driving at he never really wrecked. He just drifted down the entire front straightaway, comes to rest right at the pit exit. But what a finish there. Jonathan Parker using that middle line we talked about all night. He used it to his advantage, and he used it right there to the checkered flag over Hunter Pietzsch and Chris Wright. Remarkable job up to 2nd. What a finish there, Jonathan.
Absolutely, what a finish. And just going down your finishing order here tonight. We'll start with your top 10. Your first place finisher is going to be that 92 of Jonathan Parker. Your second place finisher is going to be Chris Wright. 3rd is going to be credited to Hunter Pietzsch. 4th is going to be Zach Meredith. 5th, Donnie Kite. 6th is going to be the heartbreak for Ethan Moreno. 7th is going to be Giovanni Klein. 8th is going to be John Osborne. 9th, Oscar Enriquez, and the rebound for Josh Arnold finishing 10th.
Justin Quimby is going to finish 11th. Jamil Hawkins 12th. Byron Jones 13th. Jake Millsap is in the 14th position. 15th is...
I'll go ahead and finish it up for you, Adam. I know ATVO is being difficult for you. But, so... 13th is going to be Byron Jones. 14th, Jose Ruiz. 15th is going to be credited to Pacey Wygant. 16th, Nick Hapiak. 17th is going to be Andrew Chapman. 18th is going to be Jeff Lednam. 19th, Jim Blankenship. 20th is going to be credited to Mike Campbell, rounding out your top 20 here tonight. Mike Campbell is going to, or no, Cole Snyder is going to finish just outside the top 20. Wait a minute, I can't count. Jim Blankenship was actually 19th. Mike Campbell 20th. Cole Snyder in 21st. Noah Blackwell in the 22nd position. Jake Millsap 23rd. Chase McGuire finishes 24th. 25th is going to be Andrew Green. 26th, Jeff No. 27th, Enrique Quinones. 28th, after that horrible flip, is going to be Nathan Lehman. 29th, Evan Canuck. 30th, Michael Morgan, rounding out your top 30. 31st to 34th is going to be Bill Hayes, Kenneth Chaney, Dawson Allen, and Aaron Dukes. Looks like he never made the call tonight. But with that being said, I would say top 3, but we know with NAOR they only want to talk to the winner. So we'll go ahead and see if we can find Jonathan Parker for an interview if he's in the Discord. as we await our race winner. Adam, go ahead and tell us what you thought of the night and how the race went.
Well, I thought that was a pretty fun battle there at the finish. I thought that was going to be pretty much Ethan Moreno's race there at the end, but he really never had control of it once he lost the lead with that moment in 2 and 1 and 2 mistake and allowing Pietzsch to make it 3 wide and really opened the door for anyone to get up there and slide up for that race win. We saw Chris Wright sneak up into that second position right at the finish. So great job by them and mega effort by everyone to almost get to the finish there.
Absolutely, and we have caught up with our race winner. Adam, I believe you caught up with our race winner, Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, hey Jonathan, you were able to survive there. What was that last lap sprint to the finish like?
I have I had no idea how that happened. I just got a push by, I believe that was Chris Wright, and Jimmy talked about when Jimmy Johnson, my favorite driver, when he was retiring, he was going through a lot of moments, and he had one moment just like that where he passed Matt Kenseth. If you get to someone's quarter at the middle of 3 or 4, you will pull them on the exit there and get there. But first of all, I just want to thank Cam for making this car. He did a great job. It is a throwback to one of Jimmy's Busch Series schemes from back in the day. And I want to thank Walter Payton Man of the Year Award winner Dak Prescott. Have his foundation on the car. It's Faith Fight Finish. They look to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the communities they serve, and they look for mental health and suicide prevention, colon cancer research, and offering assistance for those who are facing life-changing hardships. I really appreciate it. It's really cool to have to win with that on my car for the first time, and that was a whale of a race. I thought I lost it in the middle of it because I messed up. I put too much steering offset in the car, so I just burnt my right fronts too much. So I just tried to get as much as I could on the front end of the run. And in the middle of the race, I lost control of it when Ethan got by me there. But I guess the one I lost at Michigan at the end of last season came back to me. So it feels good to be in victory lane.
Yeah, that's all great. I want to go back. Well, one restart, you were able to get by. Sorry, I know. Ethan, you were able to get by Ethan Moreno. And he had a moment they were coming through 1 and 2. What was that like when Hunter Pietzsch made it 3 wide on you guys?
I thought I was dead. Because that was a ballsy block, might I say. Because when you're on 2 tires, you even if you do have enough grip, because these cars have no power, so you could go full throttle. We're all full throttle in 1 and 2, but between the draft and a little bit of extra grip on the left sides, I mean, I had a run, and he's lucky he's Ethan because I probably would have junked him if he wasn't Ethan. But yeah, that was a ballsy block, but it was all fair in racing to be quite frank. So I got to the inside, and Pietzsch got there, and I thought it was dead because I knew he was gonna send it and have it, but I just got lucky with a caution there, and then the last restart happened. Sorry.
Well, before we let you go, who else would you like to thank and shout out tonight? Pulling in victory lane for the first race of the season.
All my friends back in the PlayStation party for keeping me sane. Some were watching the real life truck race. Some were watching the NBA playing game. They're having a lot of fun. I like to thank Chad and Earl. They kept me calm throughout the race. I love Earl's voice. It's just he's not bitching at me too much. He's just telling me what's needed, and Chad's a little funny, so I appreciate him too. And that's about it.
All right. Well, congratulations, Jonathan, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Thank you.
That is tonight's winner, 92 of Jonathan Parker in victory lane in Las Vegas, Jonathan.
Well, Adam, and just to wrap this all up, we've got Iowa next week, and man, after what we've seen tonight, I'm excited for this whole season with this Gen 6 car. I think you can agree with me on that. It's producing great racing, and just I think we both deserve a pat on the back tonight for throwing this together on the fly, but I think the drivers deserve a big pat on the back as well for the racing they provided tonight. That was awesome. A great finish and a great way to open the season. But,
yeah, absolutely. piggyback off what you said there. I think Iowa is going to be one show we haven't seen in real life any Cup Car race at Iowa Speedway, just a 7th to 8th mile track. So it's going to be unique for these guys, but they've been to all kinds of circuits in the last couple seasons, and it's going to be some kind of show, I think, next week, and it's going to be short track racing, I think, and we're going to see, I think, more contact next week and another dramatic finish right at the end.
Well, and as far as what we've got coming up here for JCTV this week, we've got Tuesday, Slide Job, the MF Racing Designs Slide Job Racing League Premier Series. I never look at our schedule, so I don't remember where we're going. I think it's Dover, if I remember correctly. It's kind of sad that I'm a driver and I don't memorize the schedule, but I believe
It is Dover.
It is Dover. So we've got Dover with Slide Job on Tuesday. I'll be racing in it, but you can expect to see possibly Dawson Allen, maybe Adam, and if Josh comes back around, you'll hear Josh. And then next Friday, we go to Iowa with the NAOR Series. And I believe next Saturday, if I'm correct, Adam, we kick off the next season for the In the Pit News Truck Series.
Indeed, you are. Next Saturday at 8 o'clock right here on JCTV from Daytona. We'll get things started off.
But for now, we say so long, and thank you for tuning in to JCTV. From Adam Coon, I am Jonathan Canfield, signing you off here tonight. We appreciate you coming by and checking out the stream, and we hope you all have a great night. Stay safe out there. We'll see you Tuesday night for the Slide Job Racing Series.